Hey, welcome back to Black Lab Garage. Well, as you can see, wintertime is upon us. It's pretty cold out here, but the work don't stop just because there's cold weather. Let me show you what we got. This is a 1995 Ford 460. It come out of a F-250 at the junkyard. They said it was running, but the problem is the dash cluster was gone, so I have no way of knowing how many miles is on this engine. I'm wanting to put this engine in my 1979 F-350 to replace the 400, because the 460 is just, they're a better engine, period. But I want to retain the serpentine belt setup and everything. I don't know that we can, but I'm going to try to. Plus, we're going to retain the fuel injected heads and the fuel injected intake. Now what I'm hoping for, since that is a 95 model 460, Ford switched the pistons and rings in 1993 to the metric lower tension rings, kind of like what the Mustangs use, so the bores shouldn't be worn too bad. Of course, we don't know how many miles there is, so we don't even know if the oil's even been changed in it. We really know nothing about it. So, is it good to re-ring and re-bearing and put back together? Or we're going to have to do a major overhaul? Well, there's only one way to find out. You ready? Come on, let's get into it. Now, before we get started, one thing I want to point out is 460s are really, really heavy, okay? They're one of the heaviest V8s that I know of, in the modern era anyway. So, yes, this is a Harbor Freight engine stand. But notice, I have replaced all the bolts with grade 8. Because I'll tell you right now, yeah, it leans some. But trust me, if you use the bolts that come in them, it's going to be hanging down about like this. And I don't trust them with the engine this heavy. So do yourself a favor. Oh, and before I forget, don't ever put one of these on those engine stands that just has the single wheel in the front. Because I've actually seen people go to roll them over, and it actually just turned the whole thing over. It's hard enough to keep them upright using one of these, but definitely don't use the single wheel in the front. So, but getting back to this, replace your Chinese bolts with grade 8 bolts. You'll thank me later. So first thing we need to do is get some of all this fuel injected clutter and spark plug wires and all that off of it. So let's start tearing this thing down. Curiosity's killing me. I want to pull these valve covers off and see what it looks like underneath. Holy cow, that is clean. I mean, clean. Wow, I wasn't expecting that. You know, I still can't believe that this engine is this clean inside. I mean, there's a little dirt here that actually I knocked down into it. But I mean, this engine came out of a commercial truck with unknown mileage. And I'm starting to wonder if the engine had been replaced in it or something, and nobody knew it. Just to give you an idea of what these things look like when it's together. Let me stick this valve. I'm not going to bolt it all the way down, just sticking it on it. Because also, early model 460s were just like all the other Fords and had the bolts around the outside of the valve cover. When they went to fuel injection, they went to the center bolt valve covers. Now, this is not the actual adapter, this is just an adapter. But basically, there'll be a plate, bolts on it, bolts to the fuel injection intake manifold. And then it's got the spacing for a regular carburetor. So it'll look something like that. Not bad. I mean, you know, once it's cleaned up, you know what I mean. I mean, I can hear it now, just instead of that puny fuel injection, it's more of a you know, sounds like a vacuum cleaner running or something. Kind of makes me excited just looking at it. I'll tell you what, let's take some of these front accessories off. I'll stick these bolts back in the bracket, that way I know which one went where. Take that off with the smog pump on it, which I can take the smog pump off of it, but ultimately I'll put this bracket back on because the alternator mounts up here. Had to take that off to get to this one hidden bolt. Well, it ain't hidden, but you can get to it. See, that whole setup, it looks more intimidating than what it really is, or more complicated, I should say. Now, you can see here, there is no provision for a fuel pump, or for a mechanical fuel pump. The older models had it right here. They, even on the end of the 80s, they would still have that casting iron, but they had a plate bolted over it. Because even the carbureted 460s in the mid 80s had electric fuel pumps. Alright, let's unbolt the intake manifold. Oh, and I should mention that kit also comes with the plugs to plug off your injector holes. Got it. Got it. Never give up. Now, oh, looky there. She won't lift right off her now. That's because Cobra Kai show no mercy. Son. Wow. That's a piece of tape that fell down in it. But absolutely spotless inside. There we go. Now let's pull the rocker arms off. Survey says. Let me wipe one of the pistons off. It's got the Velcro head gaskets on it, which Ford used these from the factory, so that's not a big deal, because it's actually on another one of my videos where I show you it's got the Velcro and Ford part number on it. I see a 20 on that one. I see a 2 on that one. Well, stock 460 is 4.36 inches. .374. .38. This motor's been bored. This is a new motor. Well, newer motor, I should say. I mean, somebody's went through it. I'm gonna take these old lifters, and actually I want to box them up and save them, because I can always send them off and have them reground. That'll still be better than most lifters you can buy new today. I'm just curious, did they have this motor rebuilt? Was it a Ford reman engine? I ain't found a tag or anything on it. One thing I do like about these later model 460s is the oil pan bolts are all the same size. Where earlier models had bigger bolts in the corners. Oil pan's clean. Man, this thing is absolutely spotless inside. Look here. It's been balanced. See there on the pad on the rod right there? As it's been balanced. Wow. Let's take the oil pump and pickup off of it. Take the distributor drive shaft out. As you can see, well, you probably can't see, but I'll show you. The rods are already numbered. There, number 5. There is some wear on it, but not much. Looks like the rod's been turned, or the rod journals on the crank, I should say, been turned 30 thousandths. That's what it looks like. Now let's check one of the mains. And looks like 30 on the mains too. If you can see that or not. So it looks like the crank's turned 30-30. And we have the good football rods in it. Because believe it or not all truck motors had football rods. The ones with the football shaped rod bolt. You know, people say all truck motors had. No, they didn't. I took one out of an ambulance that did not have football rods in it. So don't believe that just because it's a truck motor it'll have the good rods in it. But this engine has been rebuilt with the older lower compression pistons. This is not the 93 and up piston, because here is one of the older model pistons. Look at that. Same ring package and everything. That's not good. That's a downer. Now I'm going to go ahead and knock the rest of these rods and pistons out. Now let's pull the harmonic balancer and timing cover off of it. That way we can finish taking the crank out. Now look there, that front timing cover seal's bad. That's where all the oil come from on it. Just a piece of advice here, because 429, 460, the bolts go through the timing cover just like on a small block Ford. If they've been in there for a while, work them back and forth a little bit. That just lessens your chances of breaking them off. I got all the water pump bolts out. And something to make note of on these, the later model water pumps, the bearing is a whole lot bigger than it is on the early model pumps. I mean, that's a good thing. Okay. Well, the timing chain's got some slack in it. Usually it's the bottom sprocket that's stuck. There we go. Okay, camshaft stuck in it. Ow. I'm not going to tell you where I just hit myself. I'm going to take the rest of these main cap bolts out, and then I'll see if I can work the camshaft out from the inside. Oh boy, do I hate this part. There we go. I am going to hang on to this camshaft because you can't have camshafts reground. It's hard to find good cores, so we may end up having to reuse this one day. So now all I've got left to do is, well, knock these old bearing shells out, but lay the oven cleaner to it, and then lay the pressure washer to it and get all these parts cleaned up. Well, there you go. We've tore down a 95 model fuel injected 460 to get ready to go through it and put it together the way I'd do it to make a good truck pulling motor out of it. So now we just got to get everything cleaned up and we'll be ready to start putting it together. So stay tuned for the next 460 installment. But I appreciate y'all watching, and hey, hit the thumbs up, like and subscribe, and most of all comment. And don't forget, listen to more Goose Creek. Stay tuned, me and the pups will be back with another one. And just in case I don't get this out there before then, I hope each and every one of you have a happy Thanksgiving. See you.